Bedrock builds that you need in your world, part 2. The 30 stacked village iron farm. Bedrock edition has some farm mechanics that are jankier than me when I learned how to play guitar, and one of my favorites has to be village stacking. Basically, if you add beds and villagers near another village, it just makes it a bigger village. But if you add them incrementally just far enough away, you can fit 30 villages close enough to have 30 fully stacked villages for 30 fully stacked iron farms. I only built 9 in this video because it takes a while. But here's how to do it. These are all the materials that you need for one module, so you'll need 30 to maximize this. Also, this specific build was created by jwatts05 on YT. Check him out. He's perfected the design from Prowl Minecraft, also on YT, so check them both out. They're insane. And drop a follow for me if you want to see more crazy tutorials like this one. What you're going to do at the bottom is place a block, any block, and go at 11 on all sides, and then go up 13, and on your 13th block, you're going to mirror what you just built below. Then you're going to make a square along the outside edges that you just made at the top, so it's a 23 by 23. Then you're gonna mark every 5th block on the inside like this, and make a smaller square going from every 5th block to every other 5th block. Then fill in the blocks in between those two edges. Again, these don't need to be specific blocks. I just wanted to make them look different and pretty. Once that's filled in, place 4 more on the inside corners like this, and 1 above on the inside of these areas. Fill in with more blocks, so it's 4 5-long segments in between. Then the middle sections here, place glass on either side, and make it so that there are 5 compartments for villagers to be in, and in between the 5, place blocks to block off the middle from the outside, as well as the top blocks up here, and do that on all 4 sides. And add 2 high glass walls along the perimeter so it looks like this. And in the center, one above where the green glass isn't, you're gonna make a 5 by 5 square with a hole in the middle, and one above that on the outside. Cover the rest of the farm with solid blocks so it has a little roof, and add light on the inside to prevent mob spawning. Then add a 1 high glass wall on the outside, as well as 5 more on each corner like this, and 3 more down below like this to each corner. Place magma in the hole with a sign on top, with a block on that, and place signs on the 4 sides of that. Then place 6 more signs on each of those, so like this on each of the sides, and on the face of the other 2, and then 1 on top of one of the face signs. Place a sign, and bring them all around the perimeter so it makes a big circle, and place lava on the blocks so it floats in a 3 by 3 like this. Place water on each of the corners down here, and underneath the magma will be your collection system. Use whatever you'd like. I'm just using a hopper minecart, hopper rail, and chest, but you'll need something bigger if you build the entire farm. Go to the top and place water in each of the 4 corners, and then along every edge of the bottom layer, not at the top or bottom of each corner, and it should look like this. Then place your workstations under this glass, and place beds in the center platforms here, and get 20 villagers in there. Doesn't matter how, but just get them in there for this particular section of the farm. They'll all go to their workstations, and when they do, trap them in with a trapdoor like this, and place water at their feet to lock them in, and make sure there are no nitwits or babies. Once they're all there, check to make sure it produces iron, and if it does, proceed with the next steps. You will build 4 more modules on each of the edges of the square, but don't add any villagers or beds or workstations. The farm will share common walls, so you go by 22 and build the exact same farms minus the beds, villagers, and workstations. Again, this is very important, so watch the beginning again and build that exactly on the 4 sides. Once all of those have been made, go to the left corners of one of the new modules, and you'll repeat these next steps for all 4 of these. Go to the corner and build out 100 blocks, and make it a 3 wide platform, so you will have a 3 by 100 platform, and make sure it's made out of solid blocks. At the very end on the left side, place a rail and powered rail, the lever down here that's off. Then from that, repeat this pattern. Rail, 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 powered rail, and then keep doing 5 rails and 1 powered rail all the way to the farm with a lever at each powered rail. You're gonna do the same on the other side, only starting with 4 regular rails instead of 1. Basically, you just want it so that the powered rails of one side are exactly between the 2 powered rails of the other side. Now at the end of the path, get a villager in a minecart and place a bed so he's linked to it. Then do the same for the other side, and place his bed with a block gap between the other one like that. Then give them a little push so that they're at their first unpowered powered rails and at the head of their beds. And then repeat this following pattern. Push the furthest back villager to the next rail, place a bed, break the furthest back bed, and then wait until you see green particles linking that villager to the new bed. It is extremely important that you see the particles before the next step, because once you do, you're going to repeat that process again. You have to make sure that you place a new bed before breaking the old one, or else the villages might merge and the farm is ruined. So push the back villager, place a bed, break the old bed, wait for particles, repeat for the entire 100 blocks on both sides. Then extend these rails until one before the blocks so that they will go off the rails once they're pushed in. Then place beds on the inside here using the same methodology. Push, place, break, wait, and then add 2 job blocks so the villagers link up. Then on the side of the farm where the bed should be, place 1 bed in this corner, break an old bed, and wait for particles. Then do the same thing, place a new new bed, break an old bed, wait for particles. Then let the villagers out of their carts, and they'll path to their job blocks, and then you block them in with a trapdoor like this and place water at their feet. Then at these rails, place trapdoors at the entry point so the villagers can get in with a minecart, but they can't get out. And then also place the 18 more beds to complete the village, and then you should have a villager breeder back around the 100 block mark. You're gonna want to make sure the levers are on too, and from the breeder, you're gonna take a villager from 100 blocks away one by one, and minecart them in like a little joyride into the farm. As they're approaching, you should see them flash green particles. That is a necessity. Once they're inside, place a job block in one of the stalls, wait for them to go to it, and then trap them in with water and trapdoors like we did for all of the other villagers. Then do that 17 more times for 17 more villagers, and once you have done that, confirm that the iron golems are spawning in both farms. If they are not, something went wrong, and if they are, then make a backup of your world because it's working. You want to be able to go back to this point like a save point in case things do go wrong later. You will then repeat that process for the other 3 sides of the farm, and now to stack them, you'll do the exact same process. Except for the middle farm, there will be no middle farm. You will make mirrors of each of these farms 13 blocks above each of the outside farms. That means there are 13 blocks between each bed, so bed to bed there are 13 blocks you can fit in between, which means that there are 7 blocks in between the top layer of one farm and the bottom layer of another, assuming that you built it exactly like you did in the video, and place a light source at the bottom farm's corners to prevent drown spawns in the corners. You can do that up to 30 times because the top and bottom layers can have 5 farms if you built the top and bottom layers first, and the middle layers can have 4 each. And yeah, that's the entire farm. This is an absolutely insane build. Again, go check out Prowl and JWatts, 2 amazing redstoners. Prowl, who figured out the mechanics, and JWatts, who actually made this specific farm. It produces over 11,000 iron an hour when fully stacked, and lags your game like nothing else. So like and follow for more builds, and tell me what you'd like to see next.